remember what I'm doing here, but I think we are live here on the Fantasy Football Show, and I've got my boy RSF 49ers, Dr. Raj, in the house. I know it's been a while since I've gone live, so I appreciate all of you dealing with me as I've battled this like worst flu I've ever had in my life, man. It's been crazy. What's going on, BN? What's up? Dried Ocean in the house. Really appreciate everybody hanging with me for the week as I rested up. What happened was, Dr. Raj, is I pushed through it, man. And when I got kind of a little bit better, I was grinding hard. Like I didn't slow down when I had the flu when I first got it. And
Oh
and
man,
pushing through it was what got me worse. So I ended up getting worse. What's up, Mark?
yeah, that was
Mark's
the
like, you
that's
are.
a that's a
I
cardinal
live.
mistake right there. You got to get rest. When you get the flu, because it can hit you and knock you out, man.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
hit it hit me hard, man. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna shut down for the pretty much like 6 straight days. And I decided I was just gonna get healthy.
well, it's good that you're back, but you were almost on the injured reserve. You were almost on the IR.
Yeah, I
It's
was.
kind of
I
scary.
had a few people be like, "Dude, where are you at? Are you coming back? Are you alive?" Like, but literally, it's only been a full week since we did this show last, right?
Yeah, we only missed last week,
Yeah,
so really,
I missed like Thursday and Wednesday, but it feels like it's been a month, but it really has been 7 exact days since we've been right here, so it
it
hasn't been
does
that
feel
crazy.
longer though. It does seem a little
Yeah.
longer.
So,
Yeah.
real quickly before we get into any injuries, week 15 weather: Chicago versus Green Bay, Denver versus Kansas City, Miami versus New York Giants. These are the three main weather games that I think we need to be worried about. We're going to get a ton of questions about weather and should I sit Mahomes? Should I not sit Mahomes? I'm going to hear that over and over. So let's address it from the start. Chicago versus Green Bay, temperatures around 15 degrees from what some people are saying. I'm not sure that this weather game is going to influence too much for me. Denver versus Kansas City, probable snow, but both teams are going to be facing this. Defenses are going to be facing this. It's the same thing that we saw when Aaron Rodgers was heading into that. What was it? 2 weeks ago, where everyone's like, "Should I bench Rodgers?" Or snow game, and Rodgers went crazy.
He went
And
off.
snow doesn't mean that you can't score fantasy points. It's
Yeah.
wind. And the only game of the three worrisome games would be. I love how the guy comes in, puts the thumbs down right away. It's like, come on, Joe. I know that's Joe, the counselor. 30 mile per hour winds and gusts in this Miami versus Giants game. So this is
Oh,
the one game where if there is panic, it's wind, and if
wind is
there's
always bad.
panic on a weather game, it's this game. So any thoughts on the weather yourself, Dr. Raj, before we get
No, I'm
into?
not too worried. It's almost playoff season. These guys are going to be playing in extreme weather, and in the Chicago Green Bay game, it's the Midwest. Those guys are used to that type of weather. I don't think it's really going to affect those teams. Like you said, with Aaron Rodgers, he balled out in the snow a couple weeks ago. That was
Yeah,
pretty impressive. Wind is scary. Especially with kickers, there's probably going to be some bad kicks. To me, if it was rainy, I'd be worried. Rainy weather's the worst because the ball's slipping out of your hand. People are fumbling on the ground. They're slipping and sliding. Rain is bad. Wind, it can be bad for the quarterback. He's not going to be able to get the accuracy on his passes. That could be a little bit of impactful game. I'm not worried about cold or snowy type temperatures. Those games people usually end up scoring anyways. I'm not too worried about the weather. It's December. You expect the weather to be kind of
yeah.
cold and dreary. So
With the 30 mile an hour wind and gusts in the Miami game, though, I will say that like if you're faced with a banged up Devontae Parker, and you have some other great option that I think it comes like, what would you start Devontae Parker, who's been on fire, who's been kind of banged up though, who or in this weather game, or would you rather roll with a guy like Mostert?
you know what? Honestly, Devontae Parker, even if he's banged up, he just signed a $40 million contract. So he's going to want to prove that he owned deserves the contract. But then it's tough because Mostert's coming in, Colonel Mostert
Colonel
coming in, and
Mostert.
and and he's just taking over the Niners' backfield. I think he's a hell of a play this week against Atlanta Falcons. The defense isn't world breakers. They're not world setters. They're not
Yeah.
that great. So I think Mostert would be a great play. But yeah,
So
the weather might temper expectations on Devontae, but he's on a tear right now. I don't think he can slow down, honestly.
yeah, so you start Parker over Mostert.
If I had to roll the dice between those two, I'd start Parker over Mostert this
Okay.
week. Yeah.
Got another weather D's nuts says PL. Mostert or Laird PPR.
I go Mostert.
I'm gonna say Laird's a safer play. Mostert's a higher risk, higher upside. So if you
Yeah.
need like a home run, then Mostert's your guy.
That's
If
the
you
guy.
want steady and safe, I think Laird is going to be a volume based guy. Maybe he won't wow you, but he's the kind of guy that's going to get like 15 touches,
Yeah.
and he'll get you like 12 points or whatever. So kind of I
Safe.
guess decide based on that PL.
Yeah, I say
But
safe pick.
Mostert's got the 2 TD 100 upside or 20 yards. So you got to know what
Yeah.
you're getting with that.
Um,
Thank you, PL, for the super. I appreciate you, my man. Laird, another Laird question, or Hooper full PPR as your flex. So you're talking about tight end Hooper or going with the Laird special.
Laird is again another safe pick, but this week the Niners defense is banged up. They don't have Richard Sherman. They're going to be out with their slot corner K'Wan Williams, best in the game. They're susceptible to some plays over the middle. They gave up 2 touchdowns to Cook last week against the Saints. So honestly, I think I could see Hooper getting a touchdown against the Niners
Hey,
tomorrow.
do me a favor and do real quick. I'll be right back. Do a 49er breakdown for the peeps.
Okay, so
Be right back.
injury wise, or yeah, so
Injury wise and just prediction wise with all the
Okay.
positions.
gotcha. So Niners are going to be banged up. They're without Richard Sherman. They're without a lot of injury. They've had a lot of injuries through the season. K'Wan Williams, he's hurt, concussion. He's probably the best nickel corner in the league right now. Quan Alexander a couple of weeks ago had a severe a torn pec. They're without their starting strong safety Jaquiski Tart. So the defense kind of taking a hit. The Niners offense has had to kind of run the show a little bit. Jimmy Garoppolo's been on a tear lately. He's got the most touchdowns in the NFL since week 8. Mostert has kind of taken over the backfield and been the number 1 running back on the team. Matt Breida missed 3 games, and that's when Mostert kind of took over. Matt Breida has finally come back, and it seems like Mostert and Breida are the 1-2 punch. And Shanahan said that Mostert has earned the carries. Deebo Samuel has become a top receiving threat for them, and Emmanuel Sanders has also become, a top-tier threat for him. Last week he had a touchdown pass, touchdown reception. He was all over the place. And George Kittle, of course, he's probably the most important player on the offense. Everything goes through him. He helps the run game. So they got some viable options. You got George Kittle, Sanders, Deebo, Mostert, and Jimmy's, like I said, he's taken over this team offensively. And with the defense banged up, I think the offense is going to steal the show again this week.
What were your stats for Julio or for Kittle?
So Kittle, I think he's going to get about so here's an interesting thing you got to see. So George Kittle, if he gets 129 yards in the next 3 games, he can pass Mike Ditka for most receiving yards by a tight end in their first 3 years of a career. I think he's going to have. I think he might be close. I think he's going to get about 100 yards receiving and a touchdown, maybe 5 catches on Sunday. I think he's going to have a big game.
He's having a nice finish to the year, man.
He's finally, like we said, he was banged up.
Yeah.
And now he's finally getting he's finding a groove. I think Mostert has a touchdown in there, and I think Deebo Samuel also gets a touchdown, maybe 70 yards in a touch.
Kittle over the middle.
Kittle over the middle.
Christopher, and if I didn't answer your question between Hooper and Laird, I know Dr. Raj hit it, but I'm going to say Laird is the safer play. He's just a volume-based guy. Hooper could definitely be okay. You can't really go wrong. Posner in the house. Posner says, wide receiver 3, choose 1. Anthony Miller, Curtis Samuel, or Golden Tate. Who are you going with, Dr. Raj?
On those 3, I'd probably go Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, for now.
He's probably the best. That's probably the safest pick out of those 3.
Yeah.
Although, what was the last guy he just said? What his name? Was Tate? Yeah, I was just thinking Tate. He could probably be, if he gets it, he could probably be the best one of the bunch. He's been kind of hit
Yeah,
or
let me
miss
look
this
up Tate
season.
real quick. I could switch my answer to Tate. You might be right there. I just want to see how healthy he's been.
That's the problem with him.
He's
He's
not listed on
inconsistent.
the final injury report.
Okay,
Man, that's a tough one then. But there's that weather that we're talking about. The game right on
that's
the
right.
screen there.
That's right.
Giants looking at 30 plus mile an hour winds. I'm going to go with Samuel. How's Samuel? Let's check Samuel's health.
I like Samuel. He's been
Yeah, let's see how he's looking. 25 yards in week 14. Not a very good
yeah. He's
outing,
kind of.
but that's a tough one, man.
It is a
Yeah, I
tough
think
one.
with weather, I stay away from the Giants.
Like I said, I think Tate, he can have the best game out of those three. I mean, I think Samuel, he's probably the safer pick. He could probably get you a decent game, but if you need a threat and those are your three, I might just roll the dice on Tate and see what it can give me.
Posner, thank you for that super chat, young man. I appreciate you keeping the lights on. And for those wondering where I've been, I've had the flu. I've had a couple posts about it, and a couple more comments in here saying, "Smitty, where you been?" I just took literally six. It felt like a month off, but I took literally 5.5, 6 days off just to get healthy because I tried to push through the flu, and I got it 3 or 4 days before the last live that we did. And I started to get a little better, but I pushed through it, man. I went crazy hard, on all platforms. I was just posting crap left and right for week, 14, getting ready for week 14.
It's tough. You got to rest. I've done that before where I was sick and I just kept grinding out, and
Yeah.
then the next day you're like, oh God, you shouldn't have done
Yep.
it.
So
Yeah.
I screwed up and pushed my limit, and I just had to take time off. So real quickly, super chats before I get behind here. Thank you, JC. Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Danny. Let me hit them all real quick. JC super chat in the flex spot, full PPR, Hunter Henry or Devin Singletary. I've seen this one before, definitely from you, JC, but also and a bunch of other questions that have hit me this week. Who are you
Good one.
starting at flex, Hunter Henry or Devin Singletary?
Oh man, that's a good one. That they both can go. Oh man, my heart wants to tell me Singletary, but my brain's telling me Hunter Henry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Hunter Henry as the safe pick.
yeah, that's what I told him in another email, right, JC? But I think Devin Singletary's got the upside, but
He
at the
definitely
same
does.
time, if you think about it, Hunter Henry is almost the same amount of upside. So why
Yeah,
risk it if he's a
why
little
risk
safer?
it?
So
He's safer, and yeah, like you say, he's probably gonna get you this. He can give you the same numbers. And
yeah,
you know what he's gonna get you. Singletary can get you he can if he goes off, he can get you this big game, but you're really risking it all if you throw him
yeah,
in
but
there.
Henry can too. So it's
Oh
I
yeah,
play.
he's not chopped liver.
Yeah, and he's got a good tight end matchup, so I go with Hunter Henry. Danny is asking Howard, OJ Howard, Noah Fant, or David and Joku, who I don't trust yet, coming back from injury with the Browns.
Yeah.
I think Fant's probably your best option. Is Howard even doing anything? What did
He
Howard
has
do?
that. I don't think I've heard of that name all season. Really,
Yeah, it's
he's
because Evans is down, so they're
yeah.
thinking. I think a lot of
They
people are
think
thinking he's going to have a big game,
they're
which he
thinking he
could.
can.
But
He could. Yeah. Actually, that's a good call. You never
so
know. You might roll the dice, but
here's the trend. So OJ Howard, last week 73 yards, not bad.
not
And
bad.
then the week before that, a season high form in catches in 5. So trending upward, definitely. And they're gonna need to lean on him. Let's see what Fant's been doing.
A rookie quarterback.
Yeah, but it looked good.
He did. He did.
Noah Fant, it's questionable.
Yeah, he hasn't done much lately.
He's questionable with a hip and foot. So you know what? I'm going to roll with OJ. I'm going to say because of the
Honestly,
injury to
yeah.
Fant, I'm going to say OJ. I don't trust Njoku yet.
No, I was gonna say as far as because we've talked about injuries with Joku, the wrist injury. That's just been a bad injury he's dealt with all season. It's kind of a wash
Yeah.
season for him. I wouldn't roll with him. Yeah, with the injury to Fant, and he really hasn't been relevant much this season. He's a rookie, still learning the ropes. I think Howard's the best play there.
Yeah. Okay. Mark, thank you for the super chat. Mark says Debo. There's your boy.
That's my boy, Debo.
A.J. Brown or
Ooh.
Slayton, full PPR, and also Hunter Henry or Higbee. I'm going to say Hunter Henry for sure. I like
Hmm.
Higbee a lot, but I think Hunter Henry is a guy you don't sit, not now. Debo, A.J. Brown, and Slayton. I throw Slayton out because of the weather. As you can see on
Yeah.
screen, wind gusts 30 plus mile an hour. So I'm just going to take Slayton off the board, even though I like him a lot. And I'm going to say Debo safe.
Hmm.
AJ Brown's a little riskier, but maybe higher ceiling. But what do you say, Dr. Raj? You're the 49er
So
expert here.
first off, yeah, Hunter Henry. That's the pick on those two guys. Like we just talked about, Hunter Henry. You know what you're going to get. Safe pick. He's going to give you production. You roll with him with confidence. I'm gonna throw. I'm gonna. It's to me. It's between AJ and Debo. Also, Debo, I think can have a big game. He's starting to really click in the offense. But let me tell you, AJ Brown with the way that offense is cooking, their quarterbacks, Tannehill out of nowhere is cooking. I kind of like AJ with the ceiling, like you said. I think he has the higher ceiling. He could have a big game, but the safe pick definitely Debo Samuel. I think he can
Yeah.
get you 5 catches, 70 yards, maybe a touchdown in there. You know that's the value you're going to get. That's a pretty good pick. But
Yeah,
if you
Mark,
really want
sometimes
to,
there's not an easy answer, man, and it just I think with this one it's like if you need safety from that spot, go Debo if you don't
yeah,
want to play around, but if you are okay with getting 2 or 3 points but also having freaking AJ Brown, he's a beast, man.
he
He's
is.
a potential top 10 wide receiver of the future. Like I really like this guy. I don't
Me
know what
too.
they're going to do if Tannehill isn't the real deal because he needs that quarterback, and obviously he hasn't done anything until right now. So it worries me a little bit in Dynasty, but I freaking love AJ Brown, man. He was
Yeah,
my him and N'Keal Harry were like my top two wide receivers in January and February before we knew landing spots, and then the landing spot really put a damper on it for me for AJ Brown. But
yeah, no,
no one saw Tannehill coming, so now we're seeing what I freaking was so excited about in January and February. Most polished wide receiver, route runner.
you got to give Debo his credit because to
Yeah,
me, my top three wide receivers that I scouted last
yeah,
season,
and
Debo, Debo, Harry, and Brown.
Debo's
Those are
on
my
my
guys.
dynasty bull predictions list, so
Yeah,
you got me there. I do love Debo, and I think he's a Steve Smith meets Anquan Bolden,
yeah, yeah,
both
definitely. He's
good
physical.
route
The
runners.
routes he runs, he's good.
But AJ Brown reminds me of a baby Calvin Johnson. Just
He's
like
big. He's so thick
yeah,
and
he's
he's
just.
physical. I love him.
I don't
How
think he
yeah, how,
realizes he's as big as he is. But
that's the thing.
so I'm gonna go AJ Brown if I'm gonna roll that dice, Mark. If you need some like huge play, but if you're like let's say you had Lamar Jackson and you got this huge lead, maybe go Debo and just roll the dice, or don't roll the dice and just throw somebody. I'm not
Yeah,
sure who you have, Mark, but thank you for the super chat, Mark. But go Hunter Henry.
definitely.
PL realistic Julio expectations. He's been so mediocre. Well, I think without Calvin Ridley, I think expectations are a little higher. But what do you think about Julio this week?
So Julio, he's finally hitting the wall as far as receiver. He's getting older. He's not in his prime years anymore. Matt Ryan's slowing down, but I think he could have a good week this week because again, Richard Sherman's not there. No Kwan Williams, but Mosley and Witherspoon are not slouches. That we still have the best secondary in the NFL as far as the Niners. So I think he could still have a good game, but I don't think he's going to be like a top 10 production. But I think he might have a touchdown against us. I would say he's a decent pick, but he's not going to be a wide receiver one this week. And with him, like I said, I think we talked about him before. Is if you have a dynasty league, you probably want to get rid of your shares of Julio because he's on the decline, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's
And
something that scared me a lot heading into the year. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago, man. We're talking about his foot, and I
yeah,
misspoke and said he had a plate in his foot. It was a screw, but
screw yeah,
but I talked about how I was worried about that foot and the torch being passed between him and Ridley, and Ridley's of course hurt right now. But
unbelievable.
I'm not saying Julio can't enter next year as a top 15 overall pick and regain people's excitement or whatever. But if he finishes the year off the way he's playing right now, I don't think there's going to be a lot of excitement for him. So I don't think anybody's going to overblow a comeback or bounce back year out of him heading
Yeah,
into 2020. If he finishes on a tear, like let's say he has 150 yards and 2 touchdowns tomorrow,
I hope
Then you're gonna
not.
have people start talking about how he's still got 1 year left, and we'll be doing the song and dance in the off season. But for right now, I'm gonna say that if he finishes mediocre, there's not gonna be a lot of excitement. I'm gonna say 70, 80 yards and a touchdown, realistic possibility there for
Yeah,
UPL. I don't know that I'm gonna expect much more than that, but certainly without Ridley, if Julio does have it left, you have a good game on your hands for, you'll have Julio having a pretty good game.
that's kind of what I see, about 78 yards, touchdown. I think he'll have some good plays here and there, but I mean,
Thanks,
yeah,
PL.
without Ridley, they're going to double him up, and again, he's kind of on the decline a little bit,
Aaron,
and he doesn't score a lot of touchdowns.
yeah, he doesn't. I need to figure out the Jacobs puzzle too. They're saying that he's playing, but feeling the risk, says Aaron Mohammed. I'd say kick going into the news tomorrow morning. If you don't see that Jacobs will be limited or anything, then you've got to assume he's playing. You got to play him, unless you just have awesome options, man. Some people do. Some people are like, sitting Aaron Jones or something, So
Yeah.
depends on your options. But Jacobs, what are you hearing about Jacobs' injury and anything?
So
If you need
yeah, I'm
time to
hearing
look,
mixed
let me know.
things. The last report, because he didn't practice, most of the week, but they're saying that if he feels good enough to play, he'll be a game time decision. There's no official word. I'm kind of waiting until 10 o'clock creeps around. That's usually when Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport come up and start dropping those reports. So wait up till tonight. If you wait up for those reports, there should be something. If there's nothing concrete, check back in the morning before. But he says he feels good enough to play. They said that they want him to play. But again, they don't want to jeopardize the future of his career. So it could be one of those things where they limited him. But really, everything that's out there is kind of muddy. There's no real word on it right now on if he's
Yeah.
playing or not. But the official tag is questionable. So that's not a bad sign. Questionable usually means they're going to play.
Yeah.
So
Galladay or Jarvis Landry. I'm going to go Galladay, Andrew.
I'm going to go Jarvis Landry. He's
Are
been
you?
kind of he's having a quiet. He's quietly putting together a good season. I
Yeah.
think Jarvis Landry's been
I think
he's had a good season.
Galladay just finds a way, man. He's so
Yeah,
good.
he does. He really does.
Jose says, thank you, Jose, for the super chat. Drew Brees versus the Colts or Watson versus the Titans. Watson, man. I
Gotta
mean,
go Watson, man.
I love both, but Watson's like a lot of people talking about the start of the QB of the week. You don't want to sit or anything. So a lot of people contemplating, which was craziness. Dr. Raj, we talked about this on Thursday night, where I told you I had a lot of people asking me about should you sit. They said a hurt Lamar Jackson before that Thursday night game. I'm like, what are you talking
I
about?
can't believe
No.
people were thinking about benching him.
Yeah, people were talking and some people had this scenario though, Watson and Lamar, and I'm like, still, no, you don't bench Lamar.
Don't bench Lamar.
And that's why we just saw why on
We
Thursday
saw
night.
5 touchdowns against the Jets. It don't matter.
Yeah.
He knew he was going to put up a big game.
So
But
don't sit Watson. You aren't crazy to play Breeze over him, but you're borderline. Look,
I mean,
Lopez.
Breeze is coming off a 5 touchdown performance, so it wouldn't be stupid to put him
Yeah.
on there. But I think he's going to come back down a little bit. They're going to run the ball a little bit more, and I definitely think that. I mean, Watson's a threat to go. He can have a Lamar Jackson type game. He can
Yeah,
have 5
so
touchdowns.
I'm gonna say not stupid and trust your gut, but it's borderline like I almost want to say hell no, but the only reason I'm holding back is because Drew Brees could still have 4 or 5 TDs in any given
He
week,
definitely
so
can. Any given Sunday, Drew
anything
Brees
can
drop-
happen.
You could drop
Trust your
5
gut.
and lose 48-46.
Trust your gut. JC says thanks for the valuable consensus decision. Thanks, Doc. What QB 6 points per TD? Kyler Murray, Minshew, Mania, or Phillip Rivers?
Who does Minshew play? Who does the Jaguars play tomorrow? I can't remember who they're playing.
I'm blanking. My brain is not half or all. It's about half here right now.
Yeah, mine too. It's tight. I'm sorry.
Raiders at home or at Raiders at Oakland.
At Oakland, Minshew mania. Huh? I could see that being a shootout, but I kind of like the Kyler. I kind of like Kyler Murray again. It's going to be
Browns.
fun. It's going to be Cleveland and Arizona. Baker versus Kyler, the 2 Heisman Trophy winners. I kind of want to go. I think Kyler's going to have a pretty good game tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me.
Minshew, I think the Minshew hype is kind of dying down.
He doesn't have Chark.
No, exactly. He really hasn't done a whole bunch since.
I'm gonna go Kyler in this one too, JC.
Yeah, and Philip Rivers, nah,
I'm not saying I like it though, JC. I'm just telling you, being honest.
yeah.
I'm not feeling like great about it. Mitch, thank you. Mostert, Mixon, Keenan Allen, Parker, running back 2 and a flex. He needs to pick running back 2 and then a flex. So Mostert, Mixon, put Mixon in. You need to put Mixon in. He's playing great. So it's down between your flex player being Mostert, Keenan Allen, or Parker as your flex. I'm going to say Mixon and... Dude, does he go Mostert or does he go Mixon and Keenan? Parker?
So this is tough because we already said earlier. I said I would take Devontae over Mostert, but I'm gonna give you Mostert as your running back too. Raheem the Dream is because Shanahan said he has more confidence in him getting more carries. I honestly think that Raheem's a good start. Mixon is playing good. You're right, but they're playing New England, and New England just cheated and figured out all their plays. So I'm gonna go Mostert. And I'm going to go, that's tough, Keenan. I'm going to ride with Devontae because, like I said, he's really been on a tear lately.
I'm going to go with the running backs. I'm going to go Mixon and Mostert only because the 30-mile-an-hour winds just worry the hell out of me, Mitch. But you got a split decision there, son. You're going to have to pick your and it's standard scoring. I forgot to mention that, so that's not PPR. Scoring. So that even more so means running backs for me, but
yeah.
But I wish you luck, Mitch, and let us know what you end up doing. Let's see. Lopez says T.Y. Hilton or Cole Beasley, Mr. Consistent, PPR. T.Y. Hilton is very, very questionable. Probably could play, but will he be shadowed? I've heard that he's going to be shadowed the entire game. And then on top of that, he could be on a snap count. I don't go near T.Y. unless news breaks tomorrow, which it won't. But news breaks saying T.Y. Hilton's unleashed, not restricted. It's not going to happen. So Cole Beasley, throw him out there for me.
Yeah, I agree. He's the safer pick. T.Y.'s been battling injury all season. You don't know what you're going to get coming off an injury. Cole Beasley's consistent. He's a safe pick, and Buffalo's been pretty solid this year. And Beasley's had a pretty good. He's been a reason why they've been good. So.
Yeah. Posner with another. If Jacobs is out, backup Washington or so start the backup Washington for the Raiders or go with Devin Singletary.
Oh.
I'm going to say Singletary, but I mean Washington wouldn't be crazy if he's getting all the touches, but I'm pretty sure Jacobs is going to play. So I think this is going to come down to Jacobs being kind of banged up and you're worried about playing him or Devin Singletary, and I play Jacobs if he's playing. But Singletary over Washington, yeah.
If Washington gets the start, I mean, it wouldn't be a dumb to start him because Jacobs has carried a huge load, so you know that they're going to give this guy a lot of carries, so he could potentially have a big game. But I like Singletary because, I think he's just a safer pick. But if you want to gamble, if you like to gamble, throw Washington in there if Jacobs isn't going to play. But if Jacobs plays, then you just roll with them.
A.J. Brown, Devin Singletary, or David Montgomery, or Shepard. So A.J. Brown, Singletary, David Montgomery, and Shepard. Pick 3.
Okay.
So I guess you're just sitting one.
Yeah, so I would sit out of all those guys, Shepard.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Shepard, sit him, start A.J. Brown, start Singletary, and David Montgomery over Shepard. Yeah, easy call.
Oh, yeah, easy. A.J. Brown, baby. I think he's going to Tannehill, man, at the helm. I like it.
Yeah. Tannehill's exciting. For some reason, it's just weirdly exciting.
I know. I'm like, what? I can't believe I see this guy on my fantasy team. I'm like, man, I'm glad I picked this guy up.
Yeah, I'm on board, man. I think he's just playing great. So
I'm all about the Titans. I hope they make the playoffs. I like watching the Titans.
JC says, thanks for the help, gents. I am a Saints fan. Doc, great game last week. Fun to watch. Good luck the rest of the way. See you in the playoffs, says JC.
Hey, JC, same to you. Good luck. That was a heck of a game. One of the best games I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And it literally came down to the end, and, man, that was a great game. Good luck to you guys and the Saints. I hope we meet again in Levi's.
Damn, MT dropping a super. Thank you, bro. MT says Mostert, Odell Beckham Jr.,
Ooh.
or Hunt. Pick two, full PPR. Mostert, Odell, Hunt. I'm going to go Mostert and Hunt myself. I feel like they're safer. Odell could screw me on that. He can finally do something. He hasn't done what he's supposed to do all year long, and then watch the game you need him and the game I say to sit him. But I just feel like Hunt feels really safe, and Mostert, you've got me sold, man. I think they're going to use him a lot. I do worry about San Francisco just changing directions. Like look at Tevin Coleman. He looked like a top 10 running back after his 3 TD game. He literally did nothing after that game. Like
Kyle Shanahan is so crazy. He confuses everybody. You don't know what he's going to do. You really don't know what Kyle Shanahan's going to do. You think he's going right, he'll go left. You think he's going left, he goes right and then back left. So that's the thing. It's confusing, and you're right. But Mostert, since Breida was out with the ankle injury, he's the guy that's been stepped up, and he's kind of overtaken the role. And I think the reason is because his speed on the outside. The way Shanahan runs is they like to run on the outside edges, and Mostert's got the speed. So I would definitely take Mostert in that matchup. I know you like Hunt. I know that's the safe pick. I know you like them RBs, but I'm going OBJ. This is the week he finally finds the end zone and has a big game. He's been dealing with trade talks. Everybody's talking about OBJ's going to this team next season. Who knows? But Odell Beckham's going to have a big
here's
game
what Roto World writes about Odell. So it says Odell was not listed on the Browns' final injury report. Odell Beckham Jr. is reportedly playing through sports hernia injury. He's playing in pain. That's the part that worries me right now.
Did you see the Baker Mayfield?
Yeah.
He threw him under the bus.
Yeah, he did. He's also one of just 6 wide receivers with a catchable deep ball rate of 25% or less among 58 qualified players, according to Pro Football Focus. The only QB with a lower percentage of on-target passes than Baker Mayfield is Mason Rudolph, or Pro Football Reference. Yes, Baker has been a massive disappointment this season. Also, yes, he's not entirely his fault. A bounce-back performance isn't out of the question against Peterson, who has struggled to limit alpha wide receivers in 3 shadow dates this season. I just feel like with him being hurt, the potential of him just like getting hurt in the mid-game and not even finishing the game, it just worries me, man. So I'm just saying I feel like Hunt and Mostert feel safer.
Oh, no, I agree.
Do I feel like Odell could burn me here? Either way, he could burn me. He could burn me if I take to play him, but I stay away from Odell with those options. But that's me.
No, you're right. I honestly, you're smart. The safe pick is to roll a Hunt. I don't know. This is the thing. Odell.
That's why we do this.
He's hurt me all season, and I'm ready for more abuse. That's what I'm saying, and he's probably going to hurt me again tomorrow. But
that's why we do this, man. It's good to have different opinions sometimes. So, MT, you got 2 different takes on it. I hope and I wish you well with it, and let us know how it works out, please.
Yeah. Safe pick, go at Hunt. If you're a gambling man, take OBJ.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, sit Mahomes due to weather, says Mr. Drew.
No.
Available QBs are Matt Ryan, Brissett, Carr, and Goff. No.
Oh God, no! Not for none of those guys. It could be blistering cold, 20 degrees below with snow.
Mr. Drew, this isn't the same exact scenario as when people said, Smitty, Lamar's banged up. This is Wednesday and Thursday. People are like, Smitty, should I bench Lamar? He's banged up. Should I put in Tannehill? Should I put in there were decent options? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. You don't bench your absolute monster stud the final week or 2 of the season in the playoffs. So, anything can happen, Mr. Drew, but trust your gut. But weather is not concerning me that much. As I have on screen, I'm not sure if you missed the beginning, Mr. Drew, but the only game here that should concern you too much is the bottom game, Miami versus the Giants, which is 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Denver and KC, probable snow. You might not even see snow at points during this game, and you're going to be like, I was worried about weather. It's one of those games. You might see snow at the end of the game. But I'm not going to worry about snow when there's not the wind to worry about. Defensive backs have to cover people in the snow too. D-back can fall down Mahomes could pick them apart in the snow. Don't let that. I don't know. I just don't see it, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think people are reading a little bit too much into the whole, oh, it might snow, it might snow. It's Patrick Mahomes. Like I said, it could be 20 degrees below zero. Snow, I don't really care.
And
It's Patrick Mahomes.
and the honest truth is, man, even if Mahomes does get outscored by Matt Ryan or whatever, are you going to be able to be? You're going to be okay with that. You're not going to be okay with drafting your team, having a great fantasy season, getting to the final second to last game, and you put your best player, like essentially the guy that can carry you any week, on your bench. You're not going to live well and live that down.
I would kill myself if I wouldn't say. No, I'm not gonna say that. That's a little too deep. I would be very upset with myself if I went all the way to the finals, bench Mahomes, the guy that I probably drafted in the first 2 rounds. That's
Yeah,
just there's no way.
don't bench him, man. Aaron Mohammed says Miles Sanders, Mixon, Jacobs, Odell, D.D. Westbrook, pick 2. Thanks, guys. So it's Miles Sanders, Mixon, Jacobs, Odell, Westbrook. I'm going to say lock Mixon in.
Mixon, yeah.
And Jacobs if he's playing, but what's Sanders looking like this week?
Go with those guys again one more time.
Miles Sanders, Mixon, Jacobs, Odell, and D.D.
Yeah, no Westbrook. OBJ, we already said he's hit or miss. Jacobs, if he's healthy, play him. Sanders, I haven't heard anything on him as far as I haven't heard anything new on him, so I'm still waiting on what Schefter and Rappaport say, unless you see something right there.
No, I'm not seeing. All I know is Miles Sanders rushed 15 times for 45 yards and caught 4 out of his 5 targets for 24 yards in Week 14.
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing on him this week. I haven't really heard much.
Against the Redskins, with Jordan Howard's shoulder likely nearing a return. If Jacobs is a go, man, I'd just play Jacobs. But Sanders wouldn't be a bad sub in. I know you like Odell. Do you like Odell over Miles Sanders?
Over Miles Sanders, yeah. I'm not. If I if I had to go with these guys and Jacobs is not healthy and he can't play, I'm gonna roll with OBJ.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do it because I think he has better upside than Miles Sanders. I mean, yeah, I know OBJ is playing through pain, but he's OBJ.
Let me look up Jacobs real quick.
Shoulder.
Says he plans to play.
Yeah, that's what he said. He says he plans to play. I remember that report.
Yeah. So for now, man, it's something I look into in the morning, but I'm playing Jacobs if he's starting.
Yeah, that's what I would go
I wish
with.
I could give you some clear cut. I'd say if like you had to set your lineup and go and not look back, then you put in Mixon and Sanders. And Sanders should be pretty decent, so Sanders is not a bad.
No, he's not bad. No.
Jacobs, Hunt, Montgomery, or Mostert. If I'm ranking those in case you need more than one, Jesus, I'm going to say I'm going to rank them in order of Hunt. I put Jacobs 1, obviously, but I'm worried about him a little bit. So I'm going to say Hunt. Maybe still Jacobs 2nd, and then Mostert 3rd, and then Montgomery 4th. I don't know. What do you think? Jacobs,
I think
Hunt, Montgomery.
with Jacobs being hurt right now, I drop him down a little bit and I put Mostert 2. I go Hunt, Mostert, Jacobs, and then Montgomery. But if Jacobs was healthy, I'd probably drop him up a notch.
I have a weird feeling that Montgomery could do okay this week.
Yeah, he can. He definitely can. I think he has this is a game where he can kind of carry the load.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's one of those weeks where he gives people at least some reason to be excited about next year.
Yeah, me too.
12-team standard QB: Rodgers, Winston, Cousins. I'm going Aaron Rodgers, man.
Yeah, I probably go. Yeah, I don't like Cousins. He's all right. He'll give you a few touchdowns, but nothing spectacular. I like Rodgers, and Winston. For every touchdown he throws a pick. So you gotta go Rodgers.
Goddard, or Ian Thomas.
I'd probably go Goddard.
Goddard. Let's see here. Roy. Roy's question is, thank you for the super chat, Roy. Flex, or pick one wide receiver and one flex. Shepard, Conley, Debo, Devin Singletary, Latavius Murray, DeAndre Washington. I'm going to say Debo and Devin Singletary, but Lat Murray over Devin Singletary isn't crazy. But I think that Debo's definitely number one on this list, and then Devin Singletary and him are pretty close. So I don't know. What do you think about that? Conley's interesting too, but
Debo definitely. I start him with confidence. He's my number one guy there. Just start him at the wide spot, and I probably lean towards Singletary, but I like Murray. It wouldn't be a bad move, but I'm going Singletary as the safer pick.
Okay, and I go Goddard on that other question. I'm going to go Debo and, Devin. Thank you, Roy, for the super chat, my friend. Lat Murray's not a bad option either.
No, he's definitely not. That's good.
He feels pretty decent, man, if you want to go super safe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chuck. Chuck says hit that like button. We got like between 70 and 100 people in the room. Not too bad for a week 16.
Or for your 15, return? For your 15. Return?
For my return
week?
No announced return. Man, we were at 800 that one day. I can't wait to see what happens for next year.
I know. It's going to be fun, man. We're going to get it up. Don't worry.
Sorry. AAA or AA says, sorry, I'm late for work. Mostert, Miles Sanders, Singletary, 1 point PPR, pick 2. Mostert, Sanders, Singletary, I'm going to say Mostert and Singletary, but man, it's hard to keep Sanders out of there.
It is.
Other league, Sanders versus DeAndre Washington if Jacobs doesn't go. I think Jacobs will go, so I don't think you're going to have that dilemma the way that you're painting it there, but I think you could always go Jacobs in the second league, and then you could roll the dice by having Sanders play at least one of the leagues, and you could go Mostert and Sanders instead of Mostert and Singletary in the first league, just to kind of get a little bit of Miles Sanders sprinkled in there without doing it in both leagues. But I think Sanders and Singletary are very, very similar starts this week. I think Singletary might even be a little bit higher risk than Sanders. I feel like Sanders might be guaranteed into some more touches, but then again, the way that the Eagles are with that split, I don't know.
I can't trust them. I don't know. It's hard for me to trust them sometimes with the way they roll with it. Their backfield, but it's not that he's a bad pick. It's just you never really know what you're getting out of him. I say Singletary and Mostert are who I'd roll with.
Okay, yeah, I think I'd say that's the safest way. AA.
Yeah.
And then I think Jacobs will play in your second question, but if Jacobs didn't, then Washington would be okay, but I'd probably still rather have Sanders over Washington myself. In that
I agree
question.
With that.
Thank you for the super chat. Posner with the super, Ozzy with the super. Ozzy says, pick 2, Devontae Parker, Julio, Jacobs, A.J. Brown. That's a tough one.
Oh, I'm going to go with 2 picks, 2 young guys. Devontae Parker, I've been on him all day on this show. I just like how he's playing lately, and he's signed the contract extension. He's ready to roll. He's ready to earn that money. And A.J. Brown, I think he's going to have a good game this weekend.
That's a tough one. I'm going to say Julio because I feel like Julio's going to get all the work, and I just can't say Julio.
It's hard. I know. I'm crazy.
Julio and Parker are kind of the safer plays, but as mentioned down here, Miami versus the Giants, 30-mile-an-hour winds. I'm going to say it's the only game that I'm worried about weather at all. I'm going to probably say that as long as Jacobs doesn't look like he's going to be super hampered and he's going to play and start, I go Julio and Jacobs and I play my studs. But that's me.
That's true.
You're not wrong to go A.J. Brown.
I'm rolling the dice because the brain in me says, are you kidding me? You go Julio and Jacobs. Those are the studs. I have a feeling I'm going with AJ and Devontae on this one. But you know what it is, though? Like we said earlier, it is the playoffs. It is the finals. It's hard for me to bench those guys. You go with what got you there, but I don't know. I kind of want to roll with on this one. For some reason, I'm rolling the hot hand here.
Yeah. First, First year, my league is gonna win. Is going with one keeper. Who would you keep? Mahomes, 6 point for TD passes. Wow. Dalvin Cook, Devontae Adams, or Zach Ertz. Throw Zach Ertz out of there. Not that I don't like him, but he's not a.
Not a keeper.
I think you got to keep Cook, man. I mean, if you think about it, the best way to answer a question like this, Posner, is when somebody says, "Hey, who should I keep out of these guys?" What guy has the least likelihood of making it to your next pick? You know, like who is for sure going to get taken? Mahomes probably in a 6 TD points, 6 points per TD will probably also go, but Cook has no chance of ever making it back to your next pick. He's the guy that's going to get scooped up right away. So Dalvin Cook is the top guy to grab. Like that just answers the question for you when you say who's going to get scooped up before anybody else if you throw them all back in. Adams you could somehow maybe get him back, like if you traded up your second rounder a little bit, or maybe he falls into the second round, mid-second round. Mahomes still could, but you probably have to trade up for Mahomes. But Cook ain't lasting past like 5 or 6 overall. You know,
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, I agree with that too, because especially with the running back position, that's a position where you want to get an elite running back, and they're a dime a dozen. You're not going to get, a top guy like that fall down to you later. And I mean, I love. We've talked about Mahomes a lot, where he's going to give you the big value. He's going to be your elite franchise quarterback of your fantasy team, but not everybody's high on quarterbacks, and you can maybe get Mahomes when he comes back to you. So I think you roll with Cook. And then you may never know. Maybe you get Mahomes anyways, and you're a happy man.
Yeah, trade up and get Mahomes and Cook somehow, but don't pass on a running back like that. I think. Bama, thank you for the super Bama. Should I pick up Goff for when Lamar sits week 17? Also, Goff in a good spot tomorrow. Goff could do okay tomorrow, but week 17. Why are you playing week 17, Bama? You guys got to get out of that. I don't know why.
Get out of that.
I don't know why people play week 17. It's like the most ridiculous thing in the world, Bama. You got to get your league to vote on that because it kills like the best teams. The best team, like look at Lamar. Lamar's potentially not going to play week 17, and now what? You get penalized for that? It's crazy. Goff for week 17, I guess. But we don't even know what's the Rams situation look like. The Rams are.
They're in the hunt. They got to win out. They're gonna have some big games.
Yeah. So, but if they lose next week, though, like, tomorrow, I don't know, man. I guess
it's tough.
Goff's an okay pickup and hold, sure.
I'm not a big Goff guy, but I'm a Niner fan, so it's kind of biased.
It also depends on his options.
But. It also depends on the options. But you're right. That whole week, I've been in a league where it was years ago when I was first. We had a week 17 playoff game. And I'm killing my, I'm like so mad at the league because I'm sitting here. Half of my players, they're being benched because they're resting for the playoff game. And I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. It's crazy. And you're right. You really don't know the situation in week 17 because half the players could be benched by halftime. They don't want to risk injury. And some players just don't play because it's the last week of the season. If you got a 14-2 record, or you're sitting on a big record and entering first seed, they're going to play their starters, so that's tough. And as far as Jared Goff, I mean, I guess if that's your best option, roll with it, but I'm not I don't know. I just think he's inconsistent.
Rivers or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
Yeah, easy. Rodgers or Wentz?
Oh, Rodgers.
Yeah, Rodgers for me. Hunter Henry or Hooper, we're both going to say Henry.
Yeah.
Tannehill or Baker, I'm going to say Tannehill.
Oh, Tannehill all day. He's hot. He's hot.
Montgomery or Connor? David Montgomery or James Conner? I don't even know what James Conner is going to be doing this week.
Yeah, he's hurt still. He's coming off injury anyways. I go Montgomery.
Goff only throws to anyone in the middle of the field, says Mikey. Well, maybe he throws a lot in the middle of the field this week.
He really does.
Diggs, McLaurin, Laird, standard scoring, pick one. Thanks, Smitty. No problem, Iggy. I'm going to say Laird is your safe call, but I do like McLaurin. Diggs, I'm sorry.
I like Diggs.
Yeah, Diggs this week. I go Diggs. But I do like Laird. Laird's safe. Laird's very safe.
He is a safe pick. I like him too.
I go Diggs.
Yeah.
What's up, Rico? Terry or Patrick Laird again. It's I'm gonna say Laird's safer, but I do like McLaurin.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I like Laird as a safe pick. McLaurin has good potential, and he's going to be a. There's so many good young receivers in this class. It's crazy.
Need one flex, one running back. Mac, Monty, McLaurin. I'm gonna go with Mac and Monty. But
Yeah, I
I do
agree
like
with that.
McLaurin. I don't know. I like
Yeah,
McLaurin.
I think the safe picks are Matt and Monty. Mac and
Yeah.
Monty.
I don't know why I like McLaurin, but I keep saying don't play him.
And I know
I don't
he's
know.
gonna. You know what's gonna happen? He's gonna have a big game.
I just feel that's why I keep saying I like him. I like him this week. I do.
Yeah, I do. I know he has. He's a great player.
Parker or Slayton? Parker.
Parker.
They're both in the same game against that wind, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe Parker will be going with more of the wind. I don't know.
I hope so because I like him. Like I said, I'm all on him lately.
You got to go Parker of the two, but they're both
Yeah.
in that bad game.
$40 million extension, Smitty. He's gonna
Anthony.
play for that money.
Yep. Anthony says Smitty, uh, Mostert or Gordon, and Dak or Mayfield. So I'm going to say Dak, and I'm going to say Melvin Gordon or Mostert. Who you going with?
Man, I want to say
What's up, Samuel?
it's tough. I want to go with my heart and say Mostert. But the safe, I think. I mean, the safer pick is Gordon. You know he's. It's tough, man. That's a tough one. I'm gonna say Dak and Mostert.
Okay, I'm going to say Dak and Gordon, but damn, that's hard.
That's a tough one.
Okay. Landry or Cooper Cup?
Cooper Cup,
I'm going to say Cooper Cup as well. Brissett, the Briskinator,
my boy.
or Eli Manning or Cousins.
The old man Eli. Oh, it's good to see Eli back in there.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I kind of like it. It felt weird without him. I like Kirk Cousins out of those three.
Okay. I'm gonna say Eli has a big game. I'm gonna say go
Oh.
Eli this week. Kind of
Okay.
weird, but
That is. That is.
Mark says need one running back, one flex. Already got. Did I get that one? Monty, Mack, McLaurin, Shepard, Hunter, Henry.
I think we did that one.
Okay,
Did we?
so Mark, I'm gonna just answer one more time in case this is a different question, but I'm gonna say Mac and Hunter Henry. Now that I see Hunter Henry in that, I think I didn't see that before, or there was a different question. But I go
Maybe.
Mac and Hunter Henry, and I'll put Monty on the bench for Hunter Henry.
Yeah, I
But
like
do-
Hunter Henry.
I do like Monty this week, but Rodgers, Fitzpatrick, or Wentz. I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick's facing that massive wind, man. Oh, and I take my Eli Manning pick back because I forgot about the wind.
Oh,
who were
that's
the
right.
who were the quarterbacks there? It was Eli, Cousins.
Eli Cousins and who's the other guy? Cousins, Eli, and who was the other one?
I'm gonna go with Cousins. I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
what you said. So I take that back. No Eli, go Cousins. Tannehill, Baker. We're both gonna say Tannehill. We like Tannehill this
Oh
week.
yeah, Tannehill all day.
Breeze or Tannehill?
Breeze or Tannehill? Ooh, boy, I'm gonna go Tannehill. I'm riding the hot streak of Tannehill.
Damn.
That's tough. That's hard for me to say.
I'm
that,
gonna
but
say Breeze on that one, but God, that's close. Bama's asking pick 3: McLaurin, Slayton, Tate, or Thielen. What's Thielen looking like this week?
he's feeling like he's playing, but he's been dealing with Thielen's been dealing with the hamstring, and I've been saying all season hamstring injuries are no bueno. I would not play Thielen.
Okay, I'm gonna go with yeah, but you can't start. Can you start Tate and Slayton?
You sure can.
You can do anything you want.
You can do whatever you want.
You're
Smitty.
Bama.
I mean,
His name's Bama. He can do whatever he wants.
throw those names out again.
McLaurin, Slayton, Tate, and Thielen.
I'm going Tate and McLaurin. Let's talk. You know what? We've been talking about McLaurin. We got to.
Yeah, but you got to start 3 of those 4. So you're starting Slayton, Tate.
Slayton. Yeah, Slayton, Tate, and McLaurin. Because I'm not
Okay.
sold on Thielen's hamstring.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tate, Thielen, and McLaurin, and put Slayton on. No, I'm gonna put Slayton.
It's tough.
Oh yeah, that is tough.
It's a tough one. That hamstring injury is
Maybe I
not.
would sit Thielen. That's tough, man. Sorry,
That
Bama.
is
That's a
tough.
really tough
I
one.
like Thielen, but man, that hamstring. What did I say a couple weeks ago? I said he's not
Yeah.
gonna have a good season.
He may. I mean, we don't know how healthy he is. I'm gonna go ahead and say put Thielen on the bench, but
And I wouldn't feel
and
bad if he
Rodgers
has a
here.
good game because all season he's had a hamstring, and if he finally plays good, then great for him.
Rodgers, Jesus, Winston or Brissett.
Winston or Brissett? I'll go the Briskinator.
I'll go. I'll go Winston in this one, but it's close. Need three: Josh Gordon, Eckler, Chubb, Fournette, and Carson. Okay, you can't sit Fournette. You can't sit Carson. Penny's out. You
Yeah.
can't sit Chubb. What are you doing with those options?
Oh man.
So Gordon and Eckler on the bench. Put Chubb, Fournette, and Carson in. I mean, you have to, right?
You got to roll with it. Yeah, those are
I
the
mean,
best three.
those are the top guys. But
That's it.
Eckler could go crazy. But at least Eckler and Gordon are fighting each other, and you take that out of the equation at least.
Yeah. That's a lot of options there.
Yeah.
You should have made a trade earlier in the season.
Jason says pick one: Connor, Mostert, McLaurin.
Mostert.
Mostert. Get the Mosternator in there.
Man, Raheem the Dream.
Yep. Josh Allen or Jared Goff this week. Probably go Allen.
Josh Allen.
Brissett or Cousins.
Oh, that's a
That's when you like both of them.
Oh man, I like Cousins. I feel Cousins have a decent week this week.
Yeah, I guess I'll go Cousins there. Carson was a top 5 running back this week. Says Blue. I think Blue. You could be right with Penny out.
Yeah. Just got to hold on to the football.
Samuel Jackson says he also has Hunt as well. What was your question, Samuel?
Samuel Jackson.
He needed 3. Oh, yeah. He was the one with Fournette, Carson, Chubb, Eckler, and Gordon. He has Hunt as well.
Oh man.
Leave it to Samuel Jackson.
All those running backs, man.
No, I said Rodgers, Wentz, or Fitzpatrick.
Oh, I still go. Okay, Rodgers.
Yeah, I go Rodgers. I think I saw that question. Winston or Wentz? I'm gonna go Winston, but I just don't trust Wentz, man. I don't know.
I don't trust either of those guys. The thing with Winston, he can drop 4 touchdowns, but he'll have 5 interceptions. So it's. I think between those two, I guess I'll go Winston. But
yeah. Waller or Higbee? Well, I go Waller.
Waller.
I like Higbee a lot, but I go Waller, man.
I go Waller.
You can't put Waller on the bench.
No, you can't
He's
bench
a baller.
him.
Waller's a baller.
Waller's a baller. Yeah, he's been playing good.
PPR, Flex, Sanders, or James White? I go Sanders myself.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Mark Gordon Jr. says need 17 need work 17 QB what? Matt Ryan, Baker, or Locke or Brissett? I think
Pick what?
Yeah, so Ryan, Baker, Mayfield, Locke, or Brissett. I think probably Brissett or Ryan, but
to me it's between Ryan and Brissett. I think Brissett's the safer play. Ryan could have a decent game where he throws a few touchdowns against the Niners, but I feel Brissett's the better
I like
play.
Brissett this week. I think I go Brissett. Jason, thank you. Jason says I sat Andrews, so Doyle or Higbee, Winston or Jimmy G.
Go with Jimmy G. He's got the most touchdowns since week 8. Easy.
Okay, and Doyle or Higbee?
Whew, that's kind of like a roll of dice for me.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go with Higbee.
Yeah, I'd probably go Higbee. They seem to love him, man. He's
They
a big
do.
part of
They've
their
just been-
offense, but I
they've
mean
been feeding
Doyle's
him.
safer, but Higbee if you want to roll the dice a little.
Yeah.
With Evans out, do you play Howard as your tight end and flex Ertz, or just play Ertz and flex Marlon Mack? I play Marlon Mack and Ertz, man. I like OJ Howard a little bit this week, but not enough to play. Put Marlon Mack on the bench if Marlon Mack's going to get his run, and he seems to be ready to get his run.
He's supposed to be back, So I think that's the way to go. You play him if he's ready to roll.
Yeah.
Go with him. Ertz is going to give you, what Ertz is going to give you.
Yeah.
So I
Debo,
agree with that.
Debo or Sanders? Miles Sanders or Debo?
Debo, baby.
Debo.
Debo.
Yeah, I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
PPR, flex, Amendola or Monty. I'm gonna go Monty. Amendola's not bumping Monty out. Monty concerns me, but not enough to give him the boot for
Yeah,
Amendola.
just because it's PPR, I'm not high on them, though. You go with Monty.
Ty or Will Fuller, neither. I mean, Ty may not. I mean, we don't even know what's going on with Ty.
He might
and
not
then
play, yeah.
Fuller is
He
always
plays.
hurt.
They're both hurt, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one, dude.
I would pick another option, honestly.
Yeah,
Right.
try and find something. Yeah, let's say, even though the stats saying QBs playing below 10 degrees don't play good, you'll go with Rodgers.
Yeah, did you see him
I'm seeing it's 15 degrees though, Chicago versus Green Bay. So
he put up 4 touchdowns in the snow. Aaron Rodgers is not human.
yeah, Aaron Rodgers is a different breed. But I will say that
man.
from what I'm seeing, I don't see that it's going to be under 10 degrees. It says 15 degrees
15.
right here on screen. But maybe you have more of an update than I do. But I just grabbed this before we went on the show, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be at 15 degrees, bro. But,
I wouldn't bench Rodgers.
yeah. I mean, if your options were like different, then maybe. But PPR, Diggs, or AJ Brown, and trust your gut, Jesus. Trust your gut.
Yeah, trust your gut.
Because I'm gonna get very minimum 30% of all of these questions wrong.
You're gonna get about 100% of them
because
right,
these are 50-50 calls. You're lucky to get 30.
Those are tough ones.
You're lucky to get 70%. I'm not lucky. It takes a lot of hard work and good luck and a lot of things to line up for me to get 70% of my 50-50 calls right. That's a really good percentage of 50-50
That's a big
calls.
percentage, yeah.
So some weeks me and Dr. Raj are going to get like 60% out of 100 right, So trust your gut. Always trust your gut before anything else. PPR, Diggs or AJ Brown. I'm going to probably go Diggs, but I like AJ Brown a lot this week.
Man, I really like AJ this week, but the safe pick in a PPR league would be Stefon Diggs, because especially with Thielen, he ain't feeling.
Yeah, Computer Bob.
You got to roll with Diggs. He's the safe pick, but AJ could have a game if you like to gamble, but safe pick, go with Diggs.
We haven't heard from Computer Bob in a bit, so let's read his question.
Yeah, I haven't heard the name tonight.
What's up, Dr. Roz? Good to see you back, Smitty. Playoffs for me start tomorrow. I have just a couple starter choices, Tannehill or Jameis Winston. We're both going to go Tannehill, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Kelsey or Higbee, we're both going to say Kelsey, right?
Yes.
Flex, running backs, Kamara, Mack, Singletary, Carson, Washington, Conley, or Terrence Williams. Easy calls. Kamara and then Carson.
Yeah, the pick 2, right? Carson and Kamara were the first
Flex
2 that came to my head.
Yeah. I ranked them in order of Carson, Kamara, and Mack if I've got to throw all 3 of those in an order somehow. Computer Bob, but nice job.
Yeah, I concur.
Go get him, buddy.
Yeah, get that dub.
Jeremy, what's up, gents? PPR pick 2. Julio, Emmanuel Sanders, your boy.
My boy.
Devontae Parker, your boy. AJ Brown, our boy. And Pascal, my boy.
Yeah.
Pick 2. I'm going to say Julio, and I'm going to say AJ Brown for me. But do you think Sanders and AJ Brown deserve the nods? I'm going to guess.
Man, that's so tough because I kind of want to lean that way. It's hard to say to not play Julio Jones. It's so hard, but man. It's standard league.
This is going to be PPR.
PPR league. Yeah, maybe. Man, that's so tough. That's a tough one. Throw them at me again. Let me rack them.
It's PPR pick 2. Julio, Emmanuel Sanders, Devontae Parker, AJ Brown, Pascal.
I like Devontae Parker, man. I've been rolling with him all night. I'm gonna go Devontae and Julio on this one. I'm gonna play it safe with Julio, and I'm gonna take the hot hand and play Devontae. $40 million.
Okay, I'm gonna say Julio, and I'm gonna say, God, Emmanuel Sanders, you feel pretty good about him? Is he feeling
I
healthy?
really do. He's been good. Did you see him last week
No,
throw
yeah,
a
I did.
touchdown? Oh
I
man, that
just,
was a he's healthy and he's playing good. The thing with the Niners is they spread that ball out, so he could have a huge game, or it could be Debo, or it could be Kittle. So they
I'm
got
gonna,
weapons.
I'm gonna say Julio and AJ Brown feel safest,
I think that is the
but
safest too.
damn,
It's
Emmanuel
tough,
Sanders is
man.
tough to bench.
That is so hard to bench because he's playing out of his mind right now. And PPR league, Jimmy's gonna get he finds him on third downs a lot.
Yeah. Thanks for the super chat. Mark says, my
Good man.
bad, need a QB for week 17. Ryan Baker. Oh, okay. Need a QB for week 17. So the numbers you're throwing in there, Mark, that are confusing me. I'm like, a QB4. Okay. I'm going to say Brissett. Brissett. Who's Brissett playing week 17? Let's see. Let's see who the Briskinators playing. Unless it's something awful, I couldn't imagine liking those options better than Brissett. Brissett's playing the Jaguars. I'm okay with
Oh,
Brissett.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I play Brissett. I like that. Okay. Rico says Jared Goofball or Josh Allen. Jared Goofball? You mean Jared Goff?
Goofy Goff, I think.
Goofy. Oh yeah, Goofy Golf ball.
Yeah. I like Jared. I like Allen.
Yeah, Allen. Thanks, Rico. Glad to be back. I think we're all caught up on super chats here. Yeah. Higbee or Cook? Jared Cook, I assume.
Is he coming off a concussion?
He might be. I'd say Higbee, man.
I go Higbee because I play it safe. That concussion, you never know.
Connor or Mac? You said Mac. I would go Mac. Connor, we're not sure what we're dealing with yet.
Yeah, we're not 100% on him. I go Mac, safe pick.
Josh says flex Mac, Hunt, Singletary, or Emmanuel Sanders in standard. I'm gonna say that Mac is probably the call, but Hunt safe. Sanders is also safe. That's tough.
Man, I like them all.
Put them all in.
Put them all in if you can, but if not, Emmanuel Sanders or Mac. Roll the dice.
Can you imagine if there's a fantasy league? Maybe I should invent this to where you can put a certain percentage of a player in. So like
So amazing.
You have these guys. I'm going to start 40% of that slot Mac, 20% of it Hunt. Can you imagine that?
I want first quarter Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, quarter.
Third quarter Mac.
Yep.
Oh man, that'd be crazy.
You heard it here first, guys. This is going to be the hybrid
the first
league.
quarter of Sanders, and he went off in the second quarter.
Yeah. Or trade guys in the middle of quarter, like trade them after quarter one. I'll trade you last week's Emmanuel Sanders points for Keenan Allen or Lockett. Already starting Hunter Henry. That's a tough one. I think you start Keenan Allen or Lockett. Lockett's been not been playing well, but
yeah, I remember I said that injury was going to come up and catch him. That injury definitely has, but I think this is the week they turn around. This is a big game they have. Carolina, they got to win this game. Seattle, I think Lockett has a better game this week. I think this is a week you can finally kind of play him with some confidence. The leg injury is just one of those things. Take time. Mm-hmm. If I had to choose, I'd go Lockett. But if I want the big reward, I think Keenan's definitely safer because he doesn't have the injury he's dealing with. But
yeah, I might roll with Lockett, man. But that's me. I know he's a lot to be worried about right now with Lockett, but I also think it's going to be tough to watch him do well.
I know. No, like I said, I think he's that kind of injury he had. It took a couple weeks to kind of, like I said, it's going to be a few weeks, but I think he's ready to roll.
Computer Bob says Dr. Roz calls you Dr. Roz.
I like it.
Dr. Roz. Congrats on your 49er win over my Saints. They surprised me scoring so well. Can they hang on to number 1 seed? Is the big question. See you in the real playoffs. This is Computer Bob.
Congrats. That was a great game. Hats off to your team. I mean, that was an awesome game. Both teams
can barely hear you.
Can you hear me?
Oh,
no?
yeah, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, now I can.
Okay, so, I mean, that was a heck of a game. One of the best games I've seen in a long time. And, hats off to the Saints. Both teams played their butts off, and it was a fun game. Hopefully, we meet again in the playoffs. And can we sustain first place? Of course, we just got to beat Falcons this weekend, and then the Rams. The big game is it's gonna come down to that Week 17 game against the Seattle Seahawks. So we'll see.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to call it. We've definitely been over an hour. We've done pretty good. But I just don't want to push my first week back. I'm questionable to return if I push it too far.
You need to get some rest, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be on in the morning.
Get some sleep.
We will see, but definitely wanted to come on and do the usual Saturday night show. We'll be back next week, and then I'll see you Thursday night as well. Guys, if you don't know where to find Dr. Roz is what everyone's calling you right now. If you want to find Dr. Raj, go to RSF 49ers on Instagram. And if you want to watch the 49er game, Dr. Raj has that going.
Fun times.
Yeah, so you want to stream that game, you know where to find it. It's over on Dr. Raj's IG page on his stories.
I get a little crazy when I watch the game, so you might have to
You might see him run by real quickly, and then if they win, he break dances at the end. Yeah. So that's what I wait for.
Yeah, the victory celebration.
I love it. All right, man. I appreciate you jumping on tonight, and
I'm glad you had me. I'm glad you're feeling a little better. I need you to get some more rest, though.
Yeah, I'm definitely wearing down. So I'm out of here, guys. Thank you, Dr. Raj.
Take it easy, my man.
We'll see you later, guys. Everybody, peace out. Thank you so much for all the super chats, and good luck tomorrow. Thank you, Ugly Dude. Appreciate all of you. Thank you. Later, guys.